What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Life Behind the Badge. I'm Travis Adams. This is Brandon Lovett. This is episode number 4. We hope everybody had a good New Year and a Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. And
Oh yeah.
well, just good luck to everybody moving forward in 2024. And we wish you all the best of luck and good health as we move forward. And before we get started with the show, I want to give a quick shout out to some of the folks who help us out. Jason Hanley over at On Point K9 Academy and the Alpha Pet Boarding, and Josh Sullivan with the Sullivan Construction Group. Thank you guys for everything you do and your support and helping us get this thing up off the ground. And good luck to you guys moving forward in 2024.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We've been able to upgrade some stuff with the help of Jason. He's, like we've said before, he's a big supporter. He's always backed us. We appreciate that. Today is going to be similar to an episode from the past that we've done. It's going to be Q&A type format. We enjoy these. We enjoy the feedback and the back and forth with the group members as well. So we'll do the Q&A stuff. We're just going to go through here and try to do as many as we can. We probably won't get to all of them just to time restraint, but we'll try to get through as many as we can.
Yeah, we'll save some for another episode. If we don't get to yours today, we'll probably come back to it. We've got still questions from the first time we did this and stuff, and from this one. So don't get your butt hurt if we don't get your question today.
Yeah, we'll get there. And at the end of it, we'll go ahead and do the drawing for the cup and the gift card. The cup, of course, was donated by Jason. We appreciate that. We collectively come up with a gift card. Something small, something you might be able to put a little gas in a tank or buy lunch or just something. We appreciate you guys. Let's see.
Who's the lucky number one going to be?
I'll go with Valerie Powell first. This one, she said, what does your department most need funding / training for? For me, this is a pretty easy one because, in my opinion, I don't feel like it changes a whole lot. A couple things. One, personnel. Allen County's growing just like everywhere else is, especially us being on the outskirts of Bowling Green. So we're getting a lot of people moving in here, and the amount of guys that we have, we get by, we do a good job of what we got, but I feel like we could always use more. So I think funding would be well suited for our, enhancing our numbers as far as patrol guys go. I think that would be beneficial to the community. I know that the sheriff and chief deputy, they're always trying to push for that and try to keep that growing, but I think that would be important, and also vehicles, because you need vehicles for those guys to drive when you get them.
Yeah, it's everybody's got tools for their job, and that's kind of our main tool. We can't get to you guys and respond to calls for service or emergency calls, if we don't have a way to get there.
Yeah, I can run fast, but not that fast.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head. The first thing I was going to say would be personnel. With the community growing and people, it seems like we've got people coming up to us from Nashville and in from Bowling Green, and as fast as they're growing, and then just us ourselves, our county's growing too. So personnel's a big thing. It's hard working a shift with 2 guys on a shift, and you get busy, and you've got one guy on a collision on one part of the county, and then you've got another guy responding to an active domestic on another part of the county. So not something we like our guys to go to by themselves. You never know what you're going to have when you get to a collision, how many hands you're going to need, and then for a domestic, you just never know how those things are going to turn out. So we like to have as many people as we can. So personnel I would say, is definitely number one. As far as like funding, I know funding goes into that too for our budget and everything, but funding for training, some of the trainings we like to send our guys to get expensive, and you got to pay for room and board and stuff and travel. But we try to send our guys to legitimate training, so they're not just going to a training just to go. We want them to get something out of it. I know I thoroughly enjoy it when I get something that's worthwhile, actually, and then we can bring back to our community and our guys and implement that stuff. So personnel and just funding for training is probably my answer for that.
Yeah, I think that would be the most beneficial for any extra money or money moving forward, for sure.
Yeah, good question, Valerie. Oh, let's see here. All right, Hallie Arterburn. Being a deputy, you see and hear a lot of things that the average person would struggle with, both mentally and physically. What do you do to help compartmentalize in order to keep those things from affecting your personal lives? that's a hard one. I mean, it's everybody responds different to different scenarios. And I've already read through some of these questions, but we do live in a small community, and we are still human, even though we've got a job to do. So we do actually have emotions, and things do upset us, and there's certain things we don't like to see. As far as compartmentalizing it, I would say the guys we work with help me out a lot with that, and then my family coming home and just staying busy with my family and realizing all the the blessings that we have around us and stuff. And I think that's some things that help me compartmentalize and trying to do non-police stuff when I'm not at work.
Yeah. For me, early on, that was something that I expected with this job, but it's something that you don't ever really get used to. There's that human factor there, like you spoke about. We're all human. But for me, things that really help me, at least in the moment per se, is I try to make myself available to them, whether it be the victim's family, whatever situation we're dealing with. I just try to put my emotions to the side and remember that I'm who they called, and so I need to be that person. And so I try to maintain that throughout. And then after, again, we're all human. Everybody has thoughts and things like that. So for me, staying busy is good. If you try to do all you can while you're there, you can kind of find some comfort in that as well, knowing that while you were there, you gave them the best chance you could give them, for whatever that situation may be. So that's staying busy is a big one. But then being able to recognize and self-reflect and know that you generally and genuinely did all you could to help somebody. I feel like I find more peace in that, and just knowing that you were able to help. Maybe not that victim if, they're deceased or what have you, but the people around them, the people that are close to them, we try to be respectful.
Yeah, I'd say, it's easy. It's that kind of thing's easy while you're working and you're staying busy, especially on scene, if you're working a bad collision or something like that, or something where anybody's hurt. It's easy while we're working it and staying busy. And it's easy when you go home and you're busy with your family. And to me, it's when you lay your head down at night and things get quiet, and then those thoughts start running back through your head, and you kind of replay that stuff in your head. Did you do what you could? And did you help those people out? Were you there for the family of the victim? Did you do your job if there's a criminal aspect to it? We want to do our job well so there can be some closure on the victim side. So there's many nights where you lay your head down at night and lose a lot of sleep just second guessing yourself or just maybe recapping and making sure that you did what you were supposed to do. So,
and I've made a lot of trips back to town with tears in my eyes. I'd be a liar if I said I hadn't. There's a lot of guys on this line of work that probably never tell you that, whether it be pride or trying to be a tough guy. But the truth of the matter is, things like that affect you, and I think letting it affect you to an extent is healthy. I think you should have emotion. I think there should be some emotion there. I'm not saying you should kick and scream and lose your professionalism, but when the time's right, I feel like being able to let that go makes a difference, especially going forward.
Absolutely. It's with the stuff we see on a daily basis and stuff. And at first, you're still, I guess, a little bit softer. And then unfortunately the stuff, it kind of hardens you a little bit.
It does.
So the other side of it is, you want to maintain those emotions too. You don't want to be insensitive to people, and you've got to find a happy medium there to be able to shut it off and do your work, and then somehow have a release or be able to compartmentalize, like Hallie said. But it's different strokes for different folks. I kind of know what gets me through and helps me, and mine is my family and the guys at work, and just staying with a hobby or something outside of work that keeps you busy.
Yeah, and just to touch on this one last thing involving that question, when you mention our guys, there's a bond there that when you walk into a room full of those guys and they know that you just went through something like that and seen somebody, they don't have to say anything. They know.
Oh yeah.
They know what they know what you're dealing with, and so even if they just look at you and tap you on the shoulder when you walk by, or shove you or whatever, that they know, and so that's a comforting thing as well. We try to keep each other picked up, give each other a nod when we need it. So that's always beneficial too.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard at our office because we
Pretty
we
rough.
like to pick on each other and
Yeah, we're
stuff,
pretty
and
rough.
so every once in a while we do have to tone it back and and realize when somebody's going through a tough situation. It's got to be pretty tough for us to tone it back.
Yeah,
but,
we don't cut a lot of slack.
yeah. That's a good question. Good question.
Brandon DeWitt, I like this one.
Oh gosh.
Get old DeWitt. Can Travis Adams still throw 80 mile an hour? Can Brandon Lovett still grab rim? These are the burning questions that people want to know. Travis, I'll let you answer your side first.
I'm going to say if either one of us try to do it at this point in our lives, we would probably have to be using some sick days at work.
Yeah.
So I
Maybe a
don't
little icy hot.
I don't know. I don't pick up the baseball much anymore. If I do, I'm not trying to throw it 80. So who knows? I like that. The kid in me likes to think I could.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I'd like to think.
I'm sure you could.
I'd like to still think I could probably grab the net, but I don't. The rim's probably my time in the rim together is probably long gone. I don't
You're a
think
little bit more genetically gifted than some of us when it comes to the athletic abilities.
I feel I just not for as long.
Yeah.
Maybe for just a short second, but it runs out pretty fast.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Brandon.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Let's see here. We'll go through and pick one out.
Side note: Kentucky pulled it out today. Proud of that. Happy about that. Anytime we beat Florida.
Good job, all you Kentucky fans.
I thought they were gonna screw it up.
John Purdue. Thanks for jumping up here, John. John works with us too, so
Yep, huge
we're
asset.
pretty tight with John. In general, could people be more attentive to sirens and lights, or should there be more education? I feel like this is something you need to get off your chest or something, John.
Yes,
Maybe.
say it where we can hear it.
You have a bad encounter or something. That is a nuisance. It is. So maybe we can shed some light on it and help people out. When we're doing our work, a lot of times it is on the side of the road, and one of the scariest things in that, or the most dangerous thing for me and probably for several of our guys, is being hit by a car coming by because they're not paying attention or what. Or
For sure.
I know, and a lot of people, and I want to see that stuff too. I'm not lying. If I was driving down the road and I saw some type of law enforcement activity going on, I'm probably going to stick my head out and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to be attentive of the traffic and what's around you, because what often happens, it's not you hitting us or something, it's you hitting another car, causing a collision that hurts somebody else because you may be watching what we're doing. And also, there is KRS, there's law on it. You have to give way to to emergency vehicles too. So
Yeah, so basically what we're trying to say is if you see sirens, slow down and get out of the way.
yeah, and just some more educational stuff. If somebody does come up behind you and we're running to an emergency type call and we've got lights and sirens going, please don't put us in a bad spot. Like if you're on Franklin Road and we're coming up over a hill and you just stop before you get to the crest of the hill, and it's just a guess for us to get around you, hoping we don't get hit by somebody else. So at your earliest convenience, yield over to the side and give us room to get around.
Preferably the right side.
Yes.
Nothing drives me more crazy than if I'm trying to get somewhere in a hurry and somebody not only bows up, stops, but then on a 2-lane road goes left.
Yeah, and we're
on.
trained, when at all possible, unless it's a last resort thing, we're going to pass on the left because that's just how everybody is trained to drive. You don't expect somebody to pass you on the right. You're not supposed to pass on the right. So kind of yield over to the right if at all possible. Make sure you're doing it in an area where we can see to get around you and not at the crest of a hill. And just pay attention, be safe. That is a dangerous thing, and we live in a rural county and a lot of small roads, and we're running emergency and trying to get to a call to help somebody. It's always we want to get there safe, because if we don't get there, we can't help you. So pay attention, stay off your phone. If you hear
put the phone down.
if you see the lights and hear the woo woos, watch out and get over.
Yeah, pump the brakes for us and move.
Thanks, John.
John DeVore, in each of your opinions, what is the best thing for someone to do when you initiate a traffic stop to let you know as you approach the vehicle that the person is going to cooperate and be civil? John, this one, I appreciate the question. There's a lot of misconception when it comes to police and traffic stops and the right and the wrong things to do. So for me, it's basic. When you get pulled over, safely pull over in a spot that's safe for both you and I. We try to pull people over in safe positions. We don't just make a traffic stop to make it. We try to plan ahead a little bit. But when we approach that vehicle, we just like to see both hands. I prefer both hands on the steering wheel. And then as I'm asking you questions, just be relaxed, answer the questions. Don't be moving around. Don't be doing nothing real fast or crazy. And just talk to us. It's no different than me and Travis sitting here talking. It's just a conversation. So just simple.
Yeah, I don't really know what to add to that. Pull over in a timely manner, but in a safe way, and don't abruptly hit your brakes when you see blue light, just like we talked about. Take your time and pull over in a safe spot, and just keep your hands up where we can see them, and try to be civil and cordial. I know some people, we're all human, and we have bad days and good days, but don't take it out on us when you get pulled over for doing something that you did wrong. And it's nothing personal. We're not going to come up there and berate you and give you a hard time. It is what it is. You can oftentimes talk yourself into a ticket too. It's depending on who the officer is. So don't bring yourself more trouble than you need. That's all. Right. That's about all I can say on that.
Yep. Let's see.
Dan and Misty Hendricks.
Okay.
I would like to know what y'all's insight is on some of the cities defunding police. Do you have pros and cons, or one or the other? Thanks.
For me, it's simple. There isn't a pro to that.
I don't see how that could be beneficial at all. Like defunding, I don't see there being a pro to that.
No, because in my opinion, a lot of the reason why some of these departments, agencies, and some of the police officers you see on the news, a lot of the reason they end up in that spot is because there's not funding for extra training, more training, things to make those guys better. So whenever a situation does arise, they properly know how to handle things. I think defunding the police is the polar opposite of what you can do, or should do, I should say.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible business model when you look at the defunding the police. If I'm not going to get too crazy into current events and political side of it, but it's not faring too well for these cities that have defunded their police, or
crime rates are through the roof,
or cut their budget and stuff. And now it's harder than ever now to find good police officers. So you want to take their funds away, and now some of these cities are playing catch up again because they've taken those funds away, and now they can't get those officers, especially some of those officers with some experience and stuff. But instead of cutting the funding, why don't you take that, add some funding and put it into training and tightening up your supervision and maybe your hiring process, so you're getting a more quality candidate. So I don't think defunding is an answer at all, especially with everybody growing and crime the way it is. If you want a safe community, put your funding in training, more personnel, and maybe better hiring practices, to tighten that up and find stronger candidates.
Yeah, I agree.
Good question, though.
This one's from Anthony Scott. I've seen most of the training that you guys do with an active shooter situation in schools. What are y'all's thoughts on situations like that? How would y'all handle if that situation ever hit our hometown, even though I pray to God we never had to face this situation? Yeah, us too, because that's worst case scenario. Handling that situation is pretty simple for me, and I think Travis agree on this. If that scenario were to ever occur here, that's obvious worst case, our worst day. But with that situation, it's simple. You fight fire with fire. Our goal would be to be more violent than that person is, and without getting too graphic, I think everybody would agree that the whole idea of that would be to get in there and end that fellow or lady's life, or whoever it is, in their life as quick as possible. If they're shooting kids, I have no interest in letting that go on.
Yeah, and that's our biggest commodity, our most prized possession, probably in any community, are our children. Yep. And so our school system and those teachers that offer that education and that are there to take care of those kids, that's very near and dear to our heart. And I can promise you have a good group of guys who will do whatever they can to deter a situation like that, or step in and take action when needed. I hope the good Lord watches over, those kids and teachers in the school system, and that they never have to worry about it. I hate that it's a thought at all that we even have to talk about that and answer questions.
Yep. That's not a question I really like to get off in the woods on too much, but as a confidence builder possibly for some of the residents here, and residents. I want you guys to know that there's not going to be any hesitation from us. I can assure you that.
Yeah, and we're just not going to get too deep in the woods on our tactics and training. We're not going to air that out for everybody to see, because there needs to be some privacy for that and stuff. And
we'll get in there. That I can promise you that.
we just think show people our playbook.
Yeah. You got one on your mind? Your thoughts on pursuit policies by Mr. Jason Hanley. If you'd asked me this 10 years ago when I first got in, I told you they're stupid, because I really like chasing cars with bad guys in them. But fast forward 10 years, I don't know if I've gotten any smarter, but I've gotten older, and I see they have a place. I mean, this day and time, there's so many different tools to use to locate people and figure out who people are. And sometimes the risk just isn't worth the reward when it comes to a pursuit. There's a time for it, but there's also times where you should probably just let that go.
Yeah, you got to be smart about it. We've got a bunch of people in the community that we don't want to get hurt. Other people that are using the roadways and stuff. We don't want to cause more of a incident than is already going on. But depending on the degree of the crime and stuff, sometimes the juice is worth the squeeze, and it's just something that we've got to do. And again, it's like you said, if you'd asked me this when I first got into it, I was like, why do we even have a policy on that? Like, catch them,
chase them all,
catch them all. Like, why are we? I used to get so mad. Like, why are we stopping?
Till the wheels fall off, in the famous words of some people we know.
Yeah. So you just have to be smart about it, and give due regard to everybody else that's out there, and make sure that they're staying safe. And there's just a lot of stuff that goes into pursuits, and we can't get off in the weeds and all that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of variables, but there's a place for them. You got to have policy on that.
Let's see here. I don't know if we answered this, Vicky guy. Do you think it would be beneficial for two officers to ride together, as some situations need more than one officer? And absolutely.
I would love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love that.
That goes back to the resources and stuff and what we need. It would be awesome if you could throw two people in a car or assign two, at least two police officers or deputies to, you're going to go everywhere on these calls, whether they're in their separate cars or in there together. But there's so much you can do with two people in a car, and we've done it before on special details and stuff when we're doing stuff. Maybe we're trying to execute some warrants and stuff, but and it's always beneficial to have a guy in there that can kind of navigate and work the computer or look stuff up on the computer while we're going, because it's hard for us to be driving emergency or trying to find somebody and to operate our MDT and look something up or get on the radio. So it's a lot safer and more efficient, if you do have two guys in the car. And that's not completely realistic for us to have two people in a car at all times. It's not completely realistic. But if we had more personnel and we had people that were working together, you're assured,
Well, it'd be great. I mean, in a perfect world, everybody's got a wish list. We could tack that on the wish list. If you had two guys in a car, you'd be more efficient. You could have one guy operating the phone, radio, and computer, and then going forward, it's another set of eyes.
And it's just fun.
Because it's like
you
hanging out with your buddy.
You do hood rat stuff with your friends. It's funner like that.
Yeah, you can get crazy.
So it's a good question.
I like it.
It'd be awesome if we could ride together all the time, but we're getting to a certain place, in the times now that we do need more than one officer on the majority of the calls we go to.
So the vast percentage we're not wanting to take just one guy.
A lot of ground to cover, and it's kind of like wearing your seatbelt. It's too late to put it on if the collision's already happened. So, if we get a guy out on one side of the county and he has no help, it's too late oftentimes for them to call for help and you to drive 15 to 30 minutes to get to them.
Yep.
They're either going to have it taken care of by then or they're not.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see here.
Let's see. Scrolling through.
A lot of good ones on here.
I'll answer Jerry Whitney's real quick. It says, have you or would you give a fellow officer a break if caught speeding or other traffic violation while they were off duty in the private vehicle? This is an easy one for me because it would be the same answer I would give you if you asked me if I'd give you a break. The answer would be it all depends. It all depends on the time, what they're doing, why they're doing it, how fast they're doing it. So it could be yes or no. If they're just blatantly speeding recklessly, at an absurd speed limit, then yeah, I don't care a bit to tell you.
Yeah, the great thing about
they
this
get a
job
ticket.
is we have discretion, and
Yep.
and if you're putting good people on the road to work,
Yeah.
and they're going to do things the right way, and we do have to control speeding.
Mm-hmm.
We have to get out there and we don't write tickets. There's no quota or anything like that. We get no benefit from writing you a ticket.
Nope.
But if we have several concerns with speeders in an area and we don't get out there and do something to deter it,
Yep.
then we're not doing our job. So, and there's incidents when we pull people over and, they're doing something wrong as far as a traffic violation or something. And,
Yep.
and if we need to take care of that with a citation, that's what happens. If we can do it some other way, we will. We're not out there to make people's lives harder than they need to be.
No.
But as far as a traffic violation, I'm glad we've got discretion, and this job's not black and white, and I'm glad we've got guys that can think for themselves and make decisions as needed.
Yeah, I feel comfortable telling you, Jerry, that whether it be police officer or not, it wouldn't matter. We would probably give them the same opportunity we would give anybody else, and also they would have the same percentage of a chance to get a ticket as anybody else. It's all
Yeah,
the same.
and there's a difference in traffic violations and actual criminal activity, like a
Yeah.
misdemeanor or felony type criminal charge. So, as far as a traffic violation, we try to do things the right way and
Yep.
be consistent and fair. But it's a good answer, Brandon. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate
Yep.
it.
Appreciate it, Jerry.
Let's see here. See if we can get one or two more in here. Last time we did this, we went on and on, looked up, and we'd been on here
Yeah.
for an hour. So
Yeah,
we try to keep these,
manageable.
manageable, because I know if you're like me, your attention span only goes so far. So we'll keep them.
Let's see.
Jenna Centers, what is the most rewarding part of your job?
Clocking out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, clocking out on my Friday.
Yeah. I don't know. Just for me, it's a combination of things. It's being the person that people look to in a time of need, whether it be citizens, other coworkers. I like being multifaceted in the aspect of where I have a lot of different avenues, a lot of different abilities to help people in a lot of different situations and ways. So it sounds generic, but it's really not. And I'm probably terrible at explaining this, but just being able to help people. I know that that's kind of generic, but being able to not only help them, but be available, consistently be available through the years. That's probably been my most rewarding.
Yeah, there's a lot of rewarding things in this job, and I love it. I love what I do.
Yep.
I like taking bad people to jail. I
Yep.
mean, just to be straight up, I like taking people that are legitimate criminals to jail, and I don't mind if I have to take them to jail every day. If they're let right back out, I don't mind. I can go pick them back up. I'm sure they'll be doing something the next day. So if they're breaking the law and stuff, I'm going to make life hard on them, and they're either going to get the picture or they're going to keep going to jail, or they're going to move away. There's basically three things that are going to happen. So that's rewarding for me to take actual criminals to jail, not just people who have a failure to appear warrant or something because they missed court on a traffic ticket, but people who are a burden on society and can't get the picture and
dangerous.
won't get with the program and who steal from people and hurt people.
Yeah,
I enjoy taking them to jail.
Yep.
So
We got several guys that do.
yeah. Anything we can do to help kids, I think, is very rewarding when we can see things work out in a positive manner when something involving children happens. And I do. I generally enjoy just helping people. If somebody has something stolen or missing and I can recover that for them and get it back, that's very rewarding for me.
It is for both them and the police officer themselves, because we put a lot of time into some of these theft reports and cases and things. There's a lot of legwork that goes unseen by guys that really do this stuff, and so whenever they're able to get some property back for somebody that's completely innocent and it was taken by somebody that shouldn't even been in that spot to start with, it's a rewarding feeling. That's good stuff.
Well, this question from Wendy Costello kind of go along with that. It seems local police officers arrest the same people over and over. What do you feel the courts or judges could do differently to prevent this, and how much time or resources could be saved if the judicial system did a better job?
For me, the first part of that question, I don't know what the judges could do differently. I'm not a judge. But the last part of that question, how much time and resources could be saved if the judicial system did a better job? I feel like in any area or anything, there's always room for improvement, and the judicial system included. The time and resources that are spent. I mean, that's what we do. So obviously, there's going to be an extreme amount of time spent by us, particularly in those two areas. But yeah, if they were to get, I don't know if you'd say better, but if they were to get more efficient and
I don't know the answers.
Yeah, I think.
And I'm in the job, and I don't know all the ins and outs and the rhymes or reason for, why this person stays or why this person goes. But at the end of the day, that stuff can get frustrating for, on our side for law enforcement. I've seen guys get very frustrated, like we do our job and we put our life on the line, and somebody goes to jail, and for whatever reason they get out. And to me, we can't control that.
No,
I don't know how to control that, and I don't know why those things happen. I'm sure there's a reason, but I don't have control over it, so I try not to worry about it. Yeah. If a bad person gets out of jail and they need to be taken back to jail, I'm glad to do it.
Take them again.
We'll take them again. Unfortunately, there are situations where I feel like we have had to stick our neck out and put our lives on the line when things could be avoided, but I don't know the rhymes or reasons behind that. No. So I wish we had a better answer for you, but the bottom line is we try to control what we can control, and if somebody gets out of jail and needs to go back to jail, we'd be glad to take them back.
Yeah, and that question could be asked anywhere in the United States. I mean, that's an ongoing thing everywhere right now.
I mean, if anything, I guess a short answer would be if they're not getting with the program, maybe just more of a deterrent. Mm-hmm. So, but everybody's going to have their opinion on that.
For sure.
What you got?
That's what I seen one I was going to, but I went by. Give me just a second.
I feel like we could have lined some of these questions up. They're different questions and great questions. We could have
streamlined them.
These hit on similar topics. Emily Douglas asked, if you work a wreck or a structure fire or any incident and know the person, how do you guys cope with that? Well, we work in a small community, and no matter what size community you work in, if you do this long enough, you're going to run into some people that have either done something wrong and you're going to have to deal with it, or in a situation as a victim or somebody that's been in a collision and are hurt and need help. And none of the situations are good or easy, and they're all dealt with differently. We hit on earlier when Hallie talked about how do you compartmentalize and stuff. When we get on scene to a collision or a fire or something like that, and we have to take action, we've got a job to do, and we try to keep our feet moving and do what we've got to do to take care of that scene and the people in it and what's going on. And we try to be a professional and be there for those people that are hurt. It does suck, and it's hard, especially when it's somebody you love or know, or a friend's family or somebody you work with's family. Those things are hard, and they do hit you a little different, but we've got a job to do, and we try to do that the best we can. And I try to think of, if we're doing a job, working a wreck, I would want somebody to work that wreck every time like it was their family in it.
Yeah.
So we try to take that approach and help people just the same as we would anybody else. But it all sucks. It can be bad. I don't know. We try to deal with it like we talked about earlier, and we lean on our buddies we work with and our families. But we've got a job to do, and that's what we do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just one of those things that you prepare yourself for. Because eventually it's going to happen. Just to echo what Travis said a little bit, just the percentage of calls we get, we've been here this long, eventually it's going to happen to you. You're going to see somebody or related to possibly. So you just try to be professional, get through it, and lean on some guys. If you need something like that. I'm gonna start putting the names in this little.
Yeah, get it set up. We're going to get to our drawing here in a little bit as we wrap this up. See if we got any.
Can you you want to go back to that other post?
The
first one.
Yeah, let me dig back into this, see if we can find some more good questions here. Hopefully, we can keep doing these Q&As. They've been pretty fun.
Yeah, we enjoy these. And I'll tell you why. Me and Travis talked about this a while back, but it's easy for me and him to kind of have an idea how this works as we do it, but for a lot of the listeners, they don't, so it intrigues us to know what intrigues you, so by you asking us these questions, it kind of gives us an idea of what you guys want to know about or hear about or talk about, for next topics on future episodes. So it's just, we enjoy these.
Johnny Jeske had one the last time, and we didn't get to it. It says, what is your biggest challenge? And I was talking about this with somebody the other day. I can't remember who, but what is your biggest challenge in the community that you police? Did policing change for you post George Floyd incident? One, shout out to our community and the people in it. I'm so thankful for our community that we as officers don't feel like we're burdened with the hate of police on a daily basis. We get our people who are mad at us because we took their baby mama to jail or something, or baby daddy, or somebody's pissed because we took their niece to jail or whatever it may be. But just in general, we do feel the love from the community, and we get it shown to us quite a bit, especially through the holidays like we just went through. I mean, we get so much stuff from the community. There's more food at our office than we can eat. We're so grateful for it, and we're so grateful that we live in a community that takes care of us and that supports us and genuinely backs us. And I'm so glad as a police officer that we don't have to worry about an uprising against police. No. I'm glad that we've got the type of people that we have that work with us that are going to ensure that, that we stay professional and do our jobs the right way. As far as our biggest challenge in the community that we police, the biggest challenge for our department, I would say, as we're growing, like we talked about earlier, is personnel. I know from a patrol standpoint and even from an investigation standpoint, there's more oftentimes than not that we need more help now.
Oh, yeah.
I think I've even seen it change in the 5 years or so that I've been here, and we've just got busier. There's more crime. There's more investigations, and we could use some more help. But again, I'm grateful for our community that we don't have to worry about an uprising against the police. I feel confident that our community is going to back us and take care of us.
Yeah, for sure. We're lucky in that aspect. For sure. I think I've about got everybody in there.
All right. Let's
one time.
All right, I'm going to go to one more because I gave her a hard time. Donna Bessinger. Donna retired from dispatch, and feel like we've got a good relationship with Donna. She was always a big help, and she kind of took care of everybody around the office and everything, and she did a good job. But she asked...
And she's still one of those that brings snacks.
Yeah, all the time. And she asked if you could make a change in your job, what would it be? Well, me being a smart aleck I was, I said dispatch. Of course, I was just kidding. But if I could make a change in my job,
that's a good question.
What would it be? I really didn't think about that. I don't think about it a lot.
No, I don't either. That's not something that I don't think I would say anybody dwells on, really.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as a change, I guess I could go back and there's always, like we said, there's always room for improvement, or you feel like you could have done better. So maybe if I went back and would have trained harder in the gym, or...
If you're looking for a short, generic Brandon Lovett funny answer, it's money.
Yeah.
Increase the cash.
Yeah. Give me the bread.
Bring the bread. But no, I agree with you. If there's anything I could change, I'd probably Probably that. You know, over the last 10 years, I would have probably took training and stuff a little more serious as far as trying to, not we train, but as far as trying to broaden our training spectrum, you know, where we train at, who we train with.
Yeah, in hindsight, it's easy to look back
Yeah.
and say, I wish I'd have done that different, or if I wish I'd have went to that training or did
Yeah.
this or that. So that's probably some of the change I would think about. But
Yeah, me too.
as far as just in general, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. Maybe I should. Maybe I'm dumb or crazy for not thinking about that. But it's a good question, Donna,
is a good
and
one.
we appreciate you and we appreciate your service to our community.
Yes, we do.
Keep bringing the snacks.
Keep them coming. They don't go to waste up there,
That's right.
especially if Jake Coslow's around.
Oh. I had one I wanted to answer from this one. Let me get back to it.
Let's hear it.
Bear with us here.
I'll just-
If you couldn't tell, sometimes we kind of just fly by the seat of our pants, and
yeah, we'd rather do it that way.
that's kind of part of we wanted to keep it genuine and stuff. But here it was, Joseph, and I'm sorry if I butcher this, Hochstedler. What are your thoughts on working every day 10 to 12 hour shifts versus 24 on, 48 off? So that's I think there are some police departments who are trying like a 24 on, 48 off type schedule throughout the country. I don't think there's very many of them yet. But for the most part, you know, in police, we either work 8, 10, or 12 hour shifts, and whatever you work, it's going to be more than that a lot of days. I don't know. I kind of like the 8 hour shifts. Go in, and from a business standpoint, if I'm not thinking about my personal life and my time off and my days off, an 8 hour day, you go in, and I think you're a little fresher for 8 hours than you are for 10 or 12, especially compared to 24. And you go in, and I think you get a better quality of work from your officers.
Yeah.
If you know, because we get tired too, and then when we get tired or aggravated as the day goes on, you know, you can lead to, you know, potentially somebody getting hurt because you get a little more lackadaisical. You let your guard down a little, or you fly off the handle at somebody who you pulled over for speeding, who said something smart to you. You know, your fuses start running shorter.
For me, I just don't want to do nothing that long.
Yeah.
I don't even like fishing that long.
Yeah, it's hard to stay focused for that long, for 8 hours, much less 10, 12, or 24.
And accommodations would be an issue. That's not something that we have available. We don't have anything to outfit our guys to keep them sustained that long, whether it be a place to lay their head down, take a quick nap, you know, all that. You can't expect somebody to run wide open that long. But
And there'd just be things around, like working a 24-hour shift, you know, like an EMS or a fire crew. You know, you've got multiple crews that go out, you know, and we're not set up for that at this point. You know, we'd have to have about 2 or 3 crews, you know, like you two are going to go, you know, to this call, then the next two, then the next two, and then you just keep rotating. I guess that's a good idea and be something to look at, but you know, 8, 10-hour shifts, I'm good with that.
I like 8 or less.
You go part-time if you could, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's what I told Ford when he first come in. I said, if you need anybody part-time, I'd like to apply.
There you go. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our Q&A segment for today. We appreciate the questions. I think we both enjoy that probably more than you all do.
We do.
But we look forward to doing it again, and we also look forward to figuring out who our next guest is going to be. We've got some people lined up and some people in mind. We just haven't nailed it down yet, but we're hoping for our next episode we can get a guest on here and we can get some.
Yeah, maybe start trying to integrate some of our guys too.
Yeah, we'd like to get our guys on here so you can meet them and talk with them and get their perception on things.
Things will probably get a little funnier when we introduce some of our guys, because
we may have to put some parental guidance on these episodes.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll try to keep it PG-13.
Yeah. All right, so I think I've got everybody's name in here. If you win this, and for some reason I just glancing through, I think about everybody that's comment on here is from here. If for some reason you win this and you're not from here, not a big deal.
Sorry, we won't take it. You're not getting it.
We'll get it to you. But without further ado, we'll figure it out. It's in a spin wheel. You probably can't see that, but it's all random. We're not handpicking these or anything, so we'll see what happens. And let us know if you like the idea of these giveaways. If you do, that's a close one.
Gosh.
Brandon DeWitt, you're the winner, sir.
Congratulations, Brandon.
Yep. Knucklehead. We'll get it to you. Just get with me or Travis, and we'll make sure that this gets to you. Pretty nice little tumbler and a gift card. Get you something to eat. Buy our lunch.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks for jumping on. Thank you guys for supporting us. Continue to follow us on our Facebook page. Look up our YouTube page. The links will be on the Facebook page. And I don't know all the lingo for Facebook page, YouTube page, whatever, but
just
you know
check
what
it
I'm talking about. Check out the Facebook, check out the YouTube,
Yep.
hit the like button, subscribe button, whatever button that is good on there. Please hit that for us.
Get it out there.
Thank you again to Jason Hanley at On Point K9 Academy and Alpha Pet Boarding, and thanks to Josh Sullivan at the Sullivan Construction Group.
Yep.
Thank you guys for all the questions. We appreciate it. And tune back in next time, and hopefully we'll have a guest on here. Y'all take care. Good luck through 2024. Hope everybody stays healthy, crushes their goals, and makes a little bread. Y'all take care.
See ya.
See ya.